Rugby makes me feel, it relieves the pressure of day-to-day life. Past few years, I've been through some things, personally with family and all that sort of stuff. And for me, it's just an outlet to that. If you've had a really rubbish day, with uni or what have you, just come to rugby and it'll make you feel 10 times better. It's exercise at the end of the day. You've got your girls, your team around you, you leave all that off the pitch, and as soon as you step on the pitch, whether it's training or a game, you just feel 10 times better straight away. And part of that is doing exercise, but then part of that is the team and the people around you. Colville, and when I played here, they were an amazing bunch, and they still are an amazing bunch. And even coming to coaching, it just relieves the pressure of daily life and all your worries and struggles, and it just makes you feel instantly better. I can't describe it any other way. Yeah, it's empowering, and when you play a game, you think, I did well there, and it just makes you feel better about yourself. If you had a bad test or what have you, bad marks on a test, I think it just makes you feel that you can actually do something, and rugby will always be there to do that for me.
Yeah. I think I've always, whether it's playing or coaching, I've always wanted to say that rugby is a safe place. You can literally, I've preached it for years and I still do now. Rugby for me is my safe place. It's the one place I can go where there is no judgment. I can literally be an absolute idiot. I can have a cry, whatever it may be, or whether that's on the pitch, in the change rooms, in the bar, before training, after, on the coaching on the sideline. Is literally the one place that I know I can be completely myself and no one will judge me no matter what. And I think a big part of that is the people around you. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't feel that those people around me weren't supporting me and going, you know what, Jen, that's totally okay. Be an idiot, crack on, do what you need to do.
It's like a family.
It is a massive family. Literally, I joke and say, rugby has been the one consistent thing for me throughout my whole life. It's been there through the toughs, the ups, the downs. It's great, and I don't honestly know what sort of person I would be now if I didn't have rugby. But yeah.
I think my biggest barrier was first coming along and joining in. I was a bit scared and thought, am I going to make any friends? It was quite, not intimidating, but I was just scared to come along and show myself to the girls. But once I joined, it was great. There was no barriers there. And another barrier that I had was confidence. I don't really have much confidence in myself, but with my journey through DMU and obviously at Colville, that has improved massively. I wouldn't be where I am today without my teammates, with all of my barriers that I've faced. The girls were lovely when I first joined, and they're still lovely now. Coaching them, it's an honour and a pleasure to do that.
So I've got a few, same as yours. Confident was a big one. With having social anxiety, I was so scared to make friends, to get along, especially coming from somewhere who doesn't even know what rugby was until I started. And also one thing is struggling to keep my fitness up. Obviously asthma, that's really hard work. And also being a very large chest, it also takes a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, a lot of oomph out on me when running. So that was a very hard thing to do. But I'm definitely getting better now, so that was good. At first, I actually started wearing 3 sports bras because that was the only thing that supported me.
Which is really not really common in women's rugby. I know so many women that wear 1 or 2, or a normal bra, then a couple of sports bras, because there's just none for bigger chested women that have really hit the market to go, yep, one is good.
I think rugby is such a physical sport as well, and they don't realise that when they're making these things.
Yeah, they need to be kept in.
Honestly,
What needs that?
I did find one actually, but this is over America and it's £70, and then that's without delivery, £100 delivery, and it's the best bra ever, and I really want it, but that's too much. So what I've done now, stick with you. So to shorten having so many sports bras and getting them all dirty and I have none for the week, I bought myself a binder, so a bra binder. So what I do, I'll wear a non-wide bra and then I put a binder over it, and I didn't realise how much it compresses it. And then I think the first time I played with it was actually last week with the binder, and I felt like I run better and I was able to
felt much more.
Yeah, I felt like ease, and I think that was really good. So yeah.
My view on women's sport, and if I could go back like, I won't say how many years because that shows how my age then. If I could go back a couple of years and, you know, if I had somebody there saying, like, looking at it and saying things to me like, you know what, give it a go, like, it has such massive benefits for you if you were to get involved in sport as a female. And the things that, even just listening to these guys, the things it's done for these guys in such a short space of time, like, it's going places. It is something that is a real positive impact on your life. I think if I had that advice a few years ago, I probably would have joined a sport much earlier than I did. But yeah, I think there's still, like the guys have said, there's still a lot of stigmas. There's still a lot of things that come with women in sport. I don't think it's anywhere near where it needs to be in terms of the men's game, like you've just said, like with your dissertation. Yeah, it's nowhere near it. And you know, I think it's going to be a little while before that happens, but it's on the right path. It is going in that direction. It's only on the up, and you know, I think it's exciting to see, even in 2-3, or even by the time that the next World Cup is, it'll be really exciting to see where women's rugby is and sport in general. So
yeah, I think there's so many points to say how it's changed throughout the years. So I'm going to say a personal one. So back in the day, I feel like if I was to say as a female, I'm a rugby player, I feel like men would just like look in disgust and be like, no, you can't be, that's not for you. But nowadays, when I mention it to a man, they're so amazed by it, and it makes me feel so confident. Like, they think, oh wow, she must be so strong, and I'm like, oh, okay. So now I feel more confident saying it out loud that I'm a rugby player, and I'm proud to be it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think if you'd have said that years ago, there'd have been like jokes, there'd have been like, you know, I won't go into the jokes, but there'd have definitely been things like, you know, how can you be, like, you know, no, you're not, like, you know, it'd have been like quite a negative thing. But I think now to say it, it's okay, like, it's accepted, like, you know, women can play rugby, and just as good as the men, might I add. So, you know, I think it's quite an empowering thing to go, you know what, I can step on that pitch and put a shift in, and come off and go, you know what, yeah, I've done a really good job, you know. So I think, and people on the sidelines to also be like, you know what, that was a really good standard of rugby that we've just watched you be a part of. So yeah, I think I completely agree.
I think, you know, rugby as a whole, especially with women, you know, it's improved massively over the years. And I remember being in high school and girls couldn't do rugby in PE because it just wasn't an option. And I remember going,
which is crazy because the high school years between me and you, and that was still a thing.
Yeah. So it's been like that for ages. Yeah. And I remember going to one of my PE teachers and say, I want to start an after school rugby club. And he's like, okay, get some girls together and then I'll run it for you. And, you know, without him, I don't think I would still have the love for it that I have now. And, you know, I'm grateful for him to being open and be like, yeah, that's fine, we can do this, just find some girls that want to do it, you know, and we'll do it. And, you know, we took like competitions and it was great and I loved it. And, you know, through schools, it's now an option. And the year after I left school, it became an option to do it in PE. So, which was great to see, and it had a massive impact. So I think it, you know, women's rugby has definitely gone up through the years, and it still is, and I think it should still progress, you know, to where the men's is at, really.
Yeah.